aliens are real.
Indeed, they are. Today I'm going to attempt to beat Fallout 4 using only the Alien Blaster, and only the Alien Blaster rounds that come with it. These rounds are finite and can only be acquired from the alien encounter, and the quest Trip to the Stars. But first, let's establish some rules. The challenge starts once I get the Alien Blaster. If I run out of rounds, the challenge fails. Normal difficulty, no followers. I must kill all hostile NPCs I encounter when completing a quest. I can use persuasion to avoid making an NPC hostile. Stealth is allowed, including sneak attacks. No gun bashing. No glitches allowed once I get the blaster. The challenge ends when the final cutscene plays.
You know the rules, and so do I.
With that out of the way, I did my best to turn Nora into an alien.
That's the face I fell in love with.
The big kaboom.
Oh my god!
Nate met his fate. My special stats are 10 intelligence, 7 agility, and 7 luck. I escaped the vault, used alien technology to turn the vault suit into the marine wetsuit, purely for fashion, discovered Sanctuary, and realised I need to be level 20 to get the alien blaster to spawn. Now there is a legendary variant called the Hub's Alien Blaster, but I would have to travel to Nuka World to get it. So instead, I duplicated some scrap and used it to make Molotovs until I reached level 20. As I left Sanctuary, the UFO crashed. I found the crash site, followed the blood to a nearby cave, made a quick save outside, found the alien, beat the shit out of him with my bare fists, and discovered something horrifying. He only dropped 293 rounds. The wiki ensured me he could drop anywhere between 295 and 500, so I repeatedly loaded the quick save I had made to respawn the alien, to try and get more ammo. One time he just stood there, menacingly. Despite doing this for about an hour, he never dropped anywhere near 500 rounds. The highest I was able to obtain was 321, plus 41 more from the gun itself, for a total of 362. The gun itself does 50 damage, but has no weapon mods that increase its damage. I unlocked rank 3 of Gunslinger and rank 2 of Bloody Mess to increase the damage to 88. I also unlocked Nerd Rage for another 20% damage when below 20% health. Rank 2 of Better Criticals for more critical hit damage, and rank 2 of Critical Wanker so I could save 3 critical hits for when I needed them. With my shiny new toy in hand, I made my way to Diamond City, then headed up to the Colonial Tap House to start Diamond City Blues. Inside, I watched Paul get his ass handed to him by Cook.
You got knocked the fuck out!
Found him outside and agreed to help him deal with Cook. Immediately betrayed him.
I'm not with him, just looking for a drink.
What?
Good answer.
Cook shot first, and then told me about a chem deal that was happening downtown. I ambushed the deal using 5 shots to kill 3 triggermen, Nelson, and Trish, though Trish survives because she is still an essential NPC at this point. I told Trish to jog on. Cook killed her, decided he'd had enough and left. And I could finally claim my prize. 60 each of Jet, Psycho, Buff Out and Mentats. I crafted Buff Tats and Psycho Buff for a boost to HP, accuracy and VATS, as well as 25% more damage, giving the Alien Blaster 132 damage while Nerd Rage is active. With that out of the way, I went straight to Park Street Station.
I'm telling you, joining Skinny Malone's crew was the best decision we've ever made.
It was not. The first zone has 4 triggermen which I took down with headshots. The second area has another 8 triggermen who all went down with one well-placed shot to the skull. 3 more outside the vault door met the same fate, and another 10 within the first section of the vault. Dino was next. I saved Nick.
Let's blow this joint.
9 more triggermen were sent on their way, and I confronted Skinny Malone.
Hey, I'm the one in charge here. You got something to say? Say it to me.
I persuaded him to let me go.
You're fat, you're ugly, and it's time you and your crazy bitch said goodbye.
You and Nick shot all of my crew, and you expect to just... All right.
And I cleared Park Street Station with 35 rounds. I met up with Nick at the detective agency. He seemed eager to solve my case.
Blah, blah, blah.
I followed him to Kellogg's house, but we couldn't get in without the key. So I took the lift to the mayor's office, persuaded Geneva for the key.
You really thought that would work, didn't you?
Failed. Persuaded McDonough for the key. Failed again.
I know it's disappointing.
So I stole the key from Geneva's desk. Found Kellogg's masturbatorium. I made fun of Nick.
What? The great clockwork dick is stumped?
It's synth detective, jackass.
Dogmeat conveniently arrived to lead me to Fort Hagen, but it isn't necessary to follow him. You can go straight to Fort Hagen by yourself. He will teleport inside Fort Hagen when you enter, so I banished him to the wasteland, never to be seen again. Doing this skips 4 scripted encounters on the way to Fort Hagen, which includes 5 mole rats, 3 mongrel dogs, a yaoguai, and 7 ghouls, saving us at least 16 rounds. Fort Hagen is overrun with synths, which all require headshots to take down in one hit. On the first floor there were 6 synths, 2 turrets, and a synth leader which needed a critical headshot to take down. Upstairs there was a turret, 2 more synths, and a Mark III turret I took down with a sneak attack. In the basement there was a turret, 2 more synths, and another turret. The first section of the command centre had a synth patroller who I took down with a sneak attack, as well as 2 more synths. Followed by 3 turrets and 2 more synths. I grabbed the energy weapons bobblehead for plus 25% critical damage. I took down 2 more synths, 3 more turrets, grabbed the covert ops magazine for better sneaking, and I prepared to face Kellogg.
And there she is, the most resilient woman in the Commonwealth.
I gave Cereal Brand a piece of my mind,
Fuck you, Kellogg.
performed a sneak attack, failed miserably, unlocked the first rank of ninja for 2.5 times sneak attack damage, performed another sneak attack, and took him down in one shot. I dealt with the final 2 synths, scooped Kellogg's brain off the floor, plus the 3 stealth boys he was carrying, stole his drip, learned about the Institute, got stuck when I exited the terminal. Thank you, Todd.
It just works.
The Pridwin arrived, I took down the 5 turrets that were on the roof, and I cleared Fort Hagen with 38 rounds. I returned to Nick. He told me we could use Kellogg's brain to learn more about the Institute, so I made my way to Goodneighbor, Handcock penetrated Finn. I found Dr. Calamari in the Meme-ory Den.
Are you two mad? Putting aside the fact that you're asking me to defile a corpse.
Technically, the corpse was defiled already.
What?
I entered the Meme-ory Lounger,
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
learned about Virgil, watched Shaun get raptured, and made my way to the glowing sea. The luminous ocean is full of enemies which can be avoided by simply walking past them, but for the purpose of the challenge, the Deathclaw outside Virgil's cave must be defeated. This was a problem. The basic Deathclaw has 250 energy resistance, so a sneak attack critical to the Bally barely did half of his health. I unlocked Ninja rank 2 for 3 times sneak attack damage, and I wasn't even close to one-shotting it. But I had a secret weapon. Calmex. Calmex is an extremely rare chem that adds 2 times damage to your sneak attack multiplier, but can only be found as random loot, or can be bought from the following vendors. I spent around 15 minutes checking each vendor's inventory, waiting for 48 hours, and repeating. I eventually found a single Calmex from Wolfgang. I went back to the Deathclaw, unlocked the awareness perk for 5% more damage in VATS, used the Calmex, and the bastard survived with a sliver of health remaining.
I can't fucking believe this!
I could not one-shot the Deathclaw. So I reloaded the save, used a sneak attack critical to get him below half health, ran away like a coward until I was hidden again, and finished him off with another critical sneak attack.
You hear that, you piece of shit? You're a dead man!
I entered the rocky cave, found Virgin inside.
Have you ever seen an Institute courser?
Sure. Lots of them.
Bullshit.
He told me I needed to kill a courser to get its chip. I stole his copy of Tesla Science for 5% more critical damage, yoinked to Stealth Boy, and I was off to Green Tech Genetics. Green Tech is full of gooners and turrets. In fact, there were 20 gooners who were all sent to Kingdom Come with headshots. A gooners privates who needed a critical backshot, and 4 turrets which all went down in a single shot. I found another Stealth Boy, and all that remained was the Courser. I asked him politely for his Courser chip.
I'm here to kill you and take what's inside your head.
That you cannot have.
He did not oblige. I used a critical sneak attack, but like the Deathclaw, it wasn't enough to one-shot him. So I used a Calmex sneak attack, and the fucker survived with a sliver of health.
This is bullshit.
It was the Deathclaw all over again. But all hope was not lost. I unlocked the first rank of Black Widow, which does 5% more damage to men, and despite the Courser technically being a synth, the game treats him as a human male, so Black Widow's damage does apply. I sent the Courser to the Shadow Realm with a single shot, pulled the Courser chip out of what was left of his brain, took 2 more Stealth Boys from his corpse, stole his drip, and I cleared Green Tech with 26 rounds. I brought the Courser chip to Dr. Amore, and she told me to find the railroad.
Next stop, the railroad. Choo-choo!
Yes. Anyway.
I found the Old North Church. There are 6 feral ghouls inside, which I dispatched easily. I entered the password and discovered the railroad.
Stop right there.
Criminal scum. You violated my mother.
Tinker Tom decoded the Courser chip. I returned to Virgin. He gave me the plans I needed to build the teleporter, and I now needed to choose a faction to build the teleporter with. The Minutemen require me to save Preston, so that wasn't an option.
I've had word from a settlement asking for help.
The Brotherhood requires me to save Danse, clear Arcjet, and clear Fort Strong. The Railroad only requires me to complete Tradecraft, which is also the only way to keep them as allies should I need them later, so I chose the Railroad. I went back to Des the Mona to join the Railroad.
Would you risk your life for your fellow man, even if that man is a synth?
No.
Welcome to the Railroad, Agent.
I spoke to Deacon to start the Tradecraft quest, joined him outside the highway. We got jumped by 4 feral ghouls, met a very friendly man.
I already got problems, asshole.
Well, isn't Ricky just a ray of sunshine?
And took the escape tunnel into the switchboard. Once inside, I was immediately greeted by a synth and a radroach. Not sure why he's here, but oh well. I took down 15 more synths as I cleared the area, including one synth that was hiding in the women's bathroom. There's no doubt he was planning something nefarious. I grabbed another covert ops manual for better sneaking, used a critical hit to kill the synth leader, took down his 2 buddies. Deacon opened the vault. I grabbed Carrington's plot device, as well as 2 more stealth boys, killed the 2 synths guarding the elevator, plus 3 more waiting outside, as well as 3 turrets, and I cleared the switchboard with 32 rounds. I returned to Des the Groaner, officially joined the railroad, gave Tinker Tom the teleporter plans.
Hold on. Who wrote this? Some kid with a crayon?
Shit.
I built the teleporter. My Sharona told me about Patriot. Scotty beamed me up to the Institute. I made contact with Patriot. Found Shaun locked within a cell.
Shaun, it's me. I'm your mom.
Who are you?
An old man showed up. He told me he was my son.
I am your son.
Bullshit!
Is it?
I didn't believe him, but he told me to go meet the division heads, which I did.
Please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here.
Secret police?
I really do need to get back to work.
Gorillas.
They're an odd bunch. I witnessed the majesty of the gorillas for myself, learned the Institute hangs their toilet paper the wrong way around. Despicable behaviour. I spoke to Shaun, and he sent me on my way to Libertalia. Once I arrived at Libertalia, I ignored X688 so he wouldn't follow me, but immediately ran into a problem. A Mark V turret that I couldn't one-shot with a sneak attack critical, even with the awareness perk. But I had a plan. I unlocked the Gun Fu perk, which does 25% more damage to your second target in VATS. Targeted a raider first, then the turret, and... This is complete and utter bullshit. I wasn't a high enough level for the second rank of Gun Fu, so I had no choice but to use Calmex to destroy this turret in one hit. Thankfully, the raiders were much easier to deal with. In total, I took down 12 raiders, another turret, a raider survivalist who required a sneak attack critical, and I sniped the raider with the Fat Man using another critical. I took the ski lift up to the main ship, took down 2 more raiders. The raider waster needed a critical or a sneak attack to take down. I wanted to save the critical hit, so ran away like a coward to prepare a sneak attack. But then disaster struck. The Brotherhood arrived. How the fuck did I not die? Anyway, I can't let the Brotherhood steal the lives of the raiders that were rightfully mine. So I fast travelled away, ran all the way back, and the Brotherhood were gone. I used a sneak attack to kill the raider waster, another sneak attack to kill a legendary raider, and killed the 2 remaining raiders to clear the ship. I took the covert ops magazine for better sneaking, entered the captain's cabin. X688 gave me the recall code.
You'll need to say B592 initialize factory reset, followed by the authorization code Gamma 71 Epsilon.
Jesus, what a mouthful.
Then talk fast, ma'am.
I used the recall code on Gabriel and dealt with his 2 bum buddies. I stared longingly towards the sea, and I cleared Libertalia with 24 rounds. I returned to Shaun and started the battle for Bunker Hill. On my way there, I was deactivating a minefield when a friendly ghoul came to say hello. He was not friendly. I found the courser just outside Bunker Hill, but then disaster struck. The Brotherhood arrived. In a level 40 Vertibird, which has 1,310 health, as well as a knight and a knight sergeant. I tried to do a sneak attack, but despite using a stealth boy, and the game telling me I was hidden, I could never get a sneak attack, and it's because of the damn courser who follows you everywhere during this quest. Then I had a great idea.
Hang on a minute, lads. I've got a great idea.
What if I kill the pilot? So I used a critical hit, killed the pilot, and nothing. The Vertibird did not crash, because it just works.
Who's laughing now? Yes, I was in the chess club.
I tried snorting some jet and shooting the Vertibird normally, which worked about as well as you would expect. Even if I downed the bird, I still had the 2 knights on board it to deal with, plus a 3rd knight in Bunker Hill itself, a knight captain and 2 more knights in the basement that I need to enter to complete the quest. You can kill the courser to fail the quest, but the Brotherhood still arrive and are still hostile, so this isn't an option. Then I had another great idea. What if I join the Brotherhood? I would be allies with everyone at the battle and could walk straight in. So I went to Cambridge Police Station, killed 4 ghouls that were attacking Paladin Mirak. Yes, you heard that right. Danse and Mirak have the same voice actor. I was just as shocked. "13 more ghouls attacked the police station. I sent all of them to hell, where they belong. Danse wanted me to follow him to Arcjet. I agreed.
Outstanding.
But instead of following him, I let him travel to Arcjet himself, and met him there later, which skips 3 scripted encounters, 3 raiders ambushing a caravan, 2 bloatflies, and 4 mongrel dogs, which saves 9 rounds. The synths in the first section of Arcjet are hostile, despite being a member of the Institute. There are 11 synths in total, as well as 4 turrets that need to be dealt with. I picked up the Tesla Science magazine for another 5% critical damage, as well as another stealth boy. I restored power to the engine core. The synths that spawn are not hostile to me, only to Danse. I watched helplessly as he was cooked alive in his power armour. Somehow he survived, but his brain must have been fried as he started rambling on about some obscure anime.
Thanks to my power armor, I'm still in one piece. The important thing is that we're still alive.
The remaining synths weren't hostile, so I waited for Danse to eliminate them. Found the deep range MacGuffin. Danse made me a member of the Brotherhood, and I cleared Cambridge Police Station and Arcjet with 32 rounds. I returned to Bunker Hill. The Brotherhood were now friendly. I entered the basement, and disaster struck again. There are 4 turrets, none of which I can one-shot without a critical hit, as I cannot get a sneak attack because of the courser. So I used 1 critical hit on 1 turret, and took the other 3 down with 2 hits each. I used the recall codes on the synths, the courser finally left, and I cleared Bunker Hill with 7 rounds. Next up, I headed to CIT to speak with Shaun, who's waiting for me on the roof. The problem is that CIT is full of super mutants. and the only door to the roof is inside CIT. So I went back outside, climbed the rubble, snorted some jet, and Bethesda'd my way up onto the roof. Shaun told me why he released me from the vault.
Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts.
Your unconditional love is overwhelming.
He then fucked off back to the Institute. The Greybeard's Peace Council was next. Shaun had a wonderful surprise for everyone attending.
I'm sorry to say I am dying.
I wept tears of joy. As thanks, Shaun made me head of the Institute, which everyone agreed was an excellent choice.
You can't be serious!
With the meeting finished, Shaun sent me to find Ali Fillmore. I reached level 27, unlocked rank 4 of Gunslinger, increasing my maximum damage to 148. I found Smiley Ali, and she told me I needed to find a beryllium agitator at Mass Fusion. I told her to stay behind because she would ruin my ability to sneak.
That's about the most insulting thing I've heard in a while.
Which she happily agreed to. I took the relay to Mass Fusion and arrived at the executive suite. I was immediately greeted by a Brotherhood Knight in power armor, which I failed to one-shot with a sneak attack because she was a woman, and Black Widow only works on men. So I unlocked the awareness perk and took her down with a sneak attack. There were 4 more Brotherhood soldiers on the roof, who were dealt with accordingly. Then I took the elevator down into the main building. This section was fun, is what I would say if it was fun. A legendary Knight Sergeant popped out of the first door, forcing me to use a critical, followed by a Scribe, an Initiate, a Knight, 2 Aspirants, a Scribe Initiate, a second legendary Knight Sergeant who only needed a headshot, another Initiate, and 1 more Scribe Initiate. I used a Stealth Boy, the elevator exploded, a Power Armor Knight did the superhero landing.
I'm gay!
I put him in his place with a sneak attack, and finished off both Scribe Initiates. I collected the Tesla Science magazine, picked up the key to the lab, used it to get another Stealth Boy, restored power to the elevator, and continued my descent. I used a Stealth Boy to sneak past the Brotherhood in the lobby, killed an Initiate, heard a Brotherhood member commit suicide. He probably knew I was coming for him, took down Senor Scribe, a Brotherhood Knight, a 3rd legendary Knight Sergeant, another Knight. I found the Initiate who had committed Son Goku, probably with his own missile launcher. I put 1 round in his brain to account for his stupidity. 7 more Brotherhood soldiers were defeated, including a 4th legendary Knight Sergeant. The path to the second elevator was now clear, and I found myself in the reactor room. I swiped the beryllium agitator, shot 2 turrets in the reactor room, escaped before I turned into a ghoul, and found myself face to face with a sentry bot, which was a complete pushover. I used a Stealth Boy to reach a vantage point, and a critical sneak attack to the fusion core took it down in 1 hit. The resulting explosion destroyed a turret, which I deducted 1 round to account for. The Protectron went down in 1 hit, and I was faced with a new problem. 2 Assaultrons that I could not one-shot without a critical hit. But I have one final trick. The 2nd rank of Robotics Expert gives you a hidden 40% damage increase to robots. With this perk unlocked, I used a Stealth Boy to remain hidden, and took down the 1st Assaultron with a sneak attack, and the 2nd went down soon after. 3 more turrets were sent to Robot Heaven, as well as another Protectron. I took the elevator back up to the lobby, and disaster struck once more. The lobby has become a war zone, with Brotherhood soldiers and synths fighting to the death. The synths are strong enough to kill weaker Brotherhood soldiers like initiates and scribes, and could do enough damage to knights that I could kill them with less rounds than I should be able to. This was unacceptable, so I was forced to make a compromise. I let the synths kill the Brotherhood to see how many would spawn. The answer was 12. Of those 12, 3 were power armor knights, 1 was a legendary knight sergeant, and the remaining 8 were scribes, initiates, and aspirants. The first knight can be killed in one hit with a sneak attack, the knight sergeant can be killed with a critical, the second knight can be killed with a critical headshot, and 2 more headshots. The third knight needs 4 headshots. The other 8 can be killed in one hit for a total of 17 rounds, which I deducted from my total, meaning I cleared mass fusion with 59 rounds.
Shaun.
I gave the agitator to Ali. Shaun told me to kidnap a man from the Commonwealth. I happily agreed. 5 gooners were defending the man, emphasis on were. Enrico told me to convince Wallace to join the Institute.
We're here to steal your kidneys and your memories.
I knew it!
He was so excited to join, he fell asleep and was never seen again. Back in the Institute, Shaun asked me to record a message that would be broadcast to the entire Commonwealth.
Cock and ball torture. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia.
Well, that was interesting.
Shaun sent me to Diamond City Radio. I used the things to fix it. Travis looked on in absolute horror. I powered up the reactor, attended the board meeting where I made my intentions clear.
We can now wage war on the Commonwealth.
I don't think anyone really intended that as a course of action.
Don't patronize me, Doctor. I'm the one in charge here.
Shaun gave me the task of eliminating the railroad, but this would mean I would have to fight the Brotherhood at Boston Airport to beat the game, which I'm not sure would be possible with only 91 rounds left. But I had planned for this all along. I finally met with Patriot, who turned out to be a man named Liam. He took me to see Johnny Synth. I convinced him that I was trustworthy.
How do I know we can trust you?
You don't.
Liam then sent me to find a username and password so he could hack into the Institute's security. Said login credentials were to be found at Cambridge Polymer Labs. Once inside, I met Molly. She trapped me in the lab and forced me to work mandatory overtime. Inside the lab, there were 13 ghouls that needed to be dealt with, though none of them were an issue, except for the glowing one, who I could not one-shot without a critical hit. With such low ammo remaining, every critical hit mattered, so I had to use Calmex to take him down with a sneak attack. I found the username and password for Liam, completed the experiment. Molly released me from my wrongful imprisonment. I killed the director for his enforcement of mandatory overtime. Molly willingly joined the director in whatever twisted afterlife awaited them. I gave Liam the username and password, then found Mr. Clean. He asked me to eliminate some guards so the synths could construct a new all-purpose cleaner. Because there's no clean like Mr. Clean. The guards were annoyingly strong and would require sneak attacks to deal with, but one by one, all 5 guards were wiped clean from reality. I returned to Agent 47, but was rudely interrupted. It seems the Brotherhood have found the railroad, which means...
Time is of the essence. Time is of the essence.
Excuse me?
Time is of the essence. 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 Time is of the essence.
I wasn't quite sure, but I think time is of the essence.
Time is of the essence.
Before I headed to the railroad, I grabbed the Your Special book, used it to raise agility, then unlocked the second rank of Gun Fu. I gave Desdemona the good news.
You're still alive. I got here in time.
Jesus.
The Brotherhood attacked, but I used a stealth boy to prepare a sneak attack. Took down the Power Armor Knight in one hit, used a Gun Fu headshot to take down the regular knight, then a sneak attack and another Gun Fu headshot to take down 2 more knights. I did my best to save glory.
I don't have time for this.
This knight tried to get the drop on me. I killed him and his friend as punishment. I took down another knight and an aspirant, then ran into an issue. I had no critical hits left, so had no choice but to use a Calmex sneak attack to kill this knight. An initiate joined him in Sovngarde. In the church, a knight and a knight sergeant stood in my way. I used a critical to take down the knight, and a Calmex sneak attack to deal with the sergeant. 1 more knight, and 2 aspirants later, and I cleared the church with 15 rounds. I put my final level into luck, which I could have done earlier, but didn't. I'm not sure why. My next task was to steal a vertibird from Cambridge Police Station. I met Tom and Deacon in Cambridge, but this was a mistake. They will follow you and ruin your ability to sneak, so I ignored them and went to the back of the police station and up the fire escape. I took down a scribe, realised the vertibirds can detect you even though there's nobody in them, because of course they can. So I jumped across the roof. I had no criticals left, so had to use Calmex to kill this knight, then an aspirant, a second knight, a scribe, another aspirant, and finally Knight Reese were all slain. There was another scribe trapped in the garage. I'll deal with him soon enough. Inside the station there were 2 aspirants, 5 scribes, 1 initiate, Scribe Halen, the head knight, who I took down with a sneak attack, and 3 turrets. I found the scribe in the garage and cleared the police station with 21 rounds. Tinker Tom gave me the explosives, and then disaster struck. Another fucking vertibird, with 2 knights, an aspirant, and the pilot. But then I had a brilliant idea. Maybe this time, killing the pilot would crash the vertibird. So I took position atop the wreckage of this buzz, and I waited for the opportune moment. The bird was downed, and everyone aboard it perished upon impact.
That still only counts as 1!
I boarded the vertibird, flew to the Pridwim, equipped the Brotherhood disguise that Deacon gave me, was spotted by Captain Cal's, so I bullshitted my way past him, planted the explosives, got back on the vertibird, witnessed the Hindenburg disaster.
Oh, the humanity! Anyway.
Some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
I returned to the railroad, and the final act of my master plan can begin. I murdered Pam with a sneak attack. Rest in peace, you big booty bitch. 4 railroad agents arrived at their final destination. Desdemona moaned her last des. I gave Deacon a face swap. There'll be no peace on earth for little drummer boy. Carrington got what he deserved. Tinker Tom forgot to die. Then he remembered that I'm the main character, not him. And the railroad was destroyed with 10 rounds. All that remains was to return to Shaun.
Our time together has been strange, hasn't it? I want you to know that I'm grateful for the time we've had.
I hastened his descent into hell. The credits rolled, and I beat the challenge with 24 rounds remaining. For those curious, here are the final stats for the run. Do let me know if you want to see more challenge runs like this, and if I could have beaten it with less rounds. But for now,
time is of the essence.
Thank you for watching. Be seeing you.